fellow owners, friends, fans, comrades, whatever you consider yourself. You just get me today. Tony is catching up on some sleep. My wife is out shopping for a little bit, so I've got some time to do nothing really. And I figured we'll do some content for the boys a little bit. Something I'm calling buyers, sellers, and cellar dwellers. Just going to look at the AL today because if I tried to cram these all into one pod, that's just too long. This will probably run longer than I want it to anyway. And then we'll get Tony in here probably over the weekend, and we'll do the NL. I figure that kind of worked better. We both have NL teams, so we'll both be able to expand on our own thoughts of our own teams. And this will just be my own thoughts on the AL. It's not scientific. I have no formulas. This is just me kind of looking at the lay of the land right now. I made some, God, it's like an invisible curtain. I did make some notes on a yellow piece of paper that I guess blends right into the background for the green screen. But yeah, I made some notes, took a look at some transactions, and again, this is just my own editorializing on what I think the AL looks like. And to me, the AL looks tough. I thought that it was going to I'm going to do like a little tier ranker thing, like buy, sell, hold. What should these teams do? And really, I didn't find a lot in the AL on the sell side. There's three teams that are very clearly done for the year, have maybe already done some or most of their selling, and we're talking like 1 and 3 win teams. I don't think it's any surprise that those guys would either be in the sell or hold. I guess if they don't have much to sell, they would just hold, but to sell anything that's not nailed down, I guess, at this point. But the rest of the league in the AL, everybody's within like a strong week or maybe 2 weeks of vaulting, like currently, into a playoff spot. So the AL was tough. I have a lot of buy and hold, which I guess makes for kind of a boring pod, but that's just how I'm looking at things. So let me see if I can remember how to share screen. So yeah, we'll take a quick look at like the standings in the AL as they are right now, and the teams that have gotten a lot of run on past pods, I suppose. The Mariners. So of course, as we all know, or we should know, 7 teams are making the playoffs in each league, and if you ended that today, we would cut off at the Angels, which, remember in the preseason, I think I had said it was the Angels and the Reds were the two like most interesting teams to see how these strategies were going to play out for them. And right now, the Angels sitting in a playoff spot, sitting in the number 7 spot. But you look right under them, and you've got the Sox, the Astros, the Tigers, Cleveland, and even Baltimore within a week or 2 weeks, a couple of sweeps and maybe some, it takes losses for these other teams, but nobody's truly out of it yet except for these bottom 3 teams, the Royals and the Red Sox, 3-win teams, and the Jays are a 1-win team right now and also have allowed the most points in the league, in the AL. So kind of a double whammy for the Jays. But AL very strong, I think. Almost everybody looking like they are either in it or could very well be in it by the time, say, the All-Star break or the trade deadline rolls around. But so that made for difficulty trying to find guys that I think should sell. Maybe when we get to the NL, all of the potential sellers will be on the NL side. I haven't really, obviously I'm in the NL, so I'm a little more familiar with it, but I don't typically sit and look at the standings very often. It's a little early in the season to be, I don't know, worrying about that. And I get like in my position, I'm not trying to find a bunch of guys to sell. I'd be a buyer right now. If, when we get to the NL, I'm going to be a buyer. But yeah, on the AL side, it wasn't easy to find guys that I think should be selling. Most of them are in the buy or hold. So yeah, well, without much further ado, we'll get rid of this, and we will. My mother's calling me. Answer or not answer? I'm going to not answer. She'll be okay. She's probably fine. God, yeah, no, always freaks me out when she calls me when I'm not expecting her to call me. It's like Schrodinger's phone call. I don't want it to be anything bad. So if I just don't answer, God, all right, I've lost my train of thought here. Okay, let's start with the Mariners. The number one team in the AL right now. I have the M's as a hold. I don't think that's too crazy to think that Seth should be holding. He did just make a couple of pretty big deals in the last 2 days. He has sent away Robbie Ray, Devers, Framber, Jordan, and Troy Melton, who may well be back this weekend. And he's picked from that. He has grabbed Ellie, Soto, and Harper. So the M's were already sitting pretty well and just made some moves to really solidify that lineup. And even the bench looks pretty good. Seth has been, I want to say, it's a really good team. He's been running pretty hot for the most part. He's kind of been getting the best possible outcome for just about everybody on that roster. But McClanahan coming back and being 15 points per game, Wheeler coming back and instantly being 21 points per game, Sale staying healthy. He's getting 12.5 points per game out of Aaron Savali. Yeah, so even the relievers that haven't been very good are actually scoring good points. Paul Sewell hasn't been very good. He's nearly 6 points per game as a reliever. Garrett Clevenger, only 8 1/3 innings. I guess I can't really throw him in there. But, yeah, 40-year-old Max Muncy, still a 3.5 point per game guy. Jazz has been awful, but somehow still averaging 3 points per game. He's gotten 100 total points out of Dominic Smith. Yeah, so Seth running pretty hot right now, running pretty good on the good side of injury luck, I would say overall. He was down Wheeler for a little bit, but he's back and looking like the same guy. Other than that, really no injuries to speak of for Seth. So I say hold. He just did all of his damage, and probably not all of it. I doubt Seth is just going to sit on his hands the rest of the year, but just swung some huge deals. And probably time to just rest on your laurels for now. That team looks great. It looks better than it did a couple days ago. One could argue perhaps that he has sold a little bit too much pitching, and he may there's a ton of injury risk in these guys, just in his big three in Wheeler, Sale, and McClanahan. There's an enormous amount of inherent injury risk in all three of those guys, but you're also kind of leaning on Steven Matz to continue being a 14.65 point per game player, which is not something he does. That would be almost a career high for Matz. Back in 2016, he was 17.8. So 10 years ago, he hasn't been as good as he has been for 41 innings this year. The Rays work miracles. Will Steven Matz continue to be that guy? I guess the smart money would probably say no. Savali has been damn good. He was good early in his career. He's been kind of meh for the last few years. But is he going to fly under the radar in that A's rotation and just be kind of pretty good? Seth has to hope so. So, yeah, hold. Until something bad happens, until something crazy happens, looks really good right now. So, yeah, M's are definite hold for me. There's no way I'm going to say he needs to sell anything. The Rays, the number 2 team in the league, 24-4, 2 games behind Seth, comfortably in a playoff spot. One of only 2 AL teams that have put up over 10,000 points so far. The Mariners and the Rays. The Rays are actually the number 1 scoring team. Oh, nope, I'm sorry. There's actually a couple more. I just didn't see him, or one more rather. That's the White Sox. But the Rays are the highest scoring team in the AL. And I think, though, that the Rays should be buying. I think the Rays need to buy a bat. The lineup does not look very good right now, and the Rays hitting has been pretty good, I think, for most of the year. Unless I'm thinking of, I know the pitching has been quite good. But, yeah, these guys need to go get a bat. The bench right now consists of Brandon Nimmo, who just hurt himself having a great game, and Jung-Hoo Lee, so just a couple of outfielders. Say if Aranda goes down, if Ozzy Albies goes down, he has Brett Beatty that he can shove in there, but Brett Beatty's a 2.3 point per game guy, and the outfield just looks really bad right now using Jose Siri. And granted, that's just what's in there right now because Nimmo doesn't play today and Lee doesn't play today, but they both have red flags. He lost Donovan. He lost Ryan O'Hearn. So I would say, if anything, he's probably truly a hold. But if he wants to try to keep step with the Mariners, which he doesn't really need to right now, they're both 20-plus win teams right now, I would say buy a bat. That would be my one recommendation. But he'd probably be just as fine just waiting for these guys to come back. I don't really know how Donovan is doing. Expected to resume baseball activity in 2 to 3 weeks. So you're good. You're missing him for a good chunk of matchups. And O'Hearn is a moderate quad strain, so he's probably going for at least a month. Yeah, buy a bat. If you're going to buy anything, buy a bat. If not, I think you're going to be okay holding. The pitching looks really good. If maybe a little, Peter Lambert probably due for some regression. I doubt he's a 16 point per game pitcher. But I also don't think that Nick Lodolo is a 5 point per game pitcher. So maybe the regression would kind of just wash each other out there. Lodolo is going to be better. Lambert's going to be worse. He's got Schlitter. He's got Drew Rasmussen. He's got Jeff Springs. It's a pretty decent little rotation. Ryan Nelson, Eric Sabrowski, been one of the more underrated relievers. He's a holds machine. He's grabbed a couple of wins. He might even have a save. And he's a strikeout machine too, 39 Ks in 21 innings. I think if these guys need to do anything, it's buy a bat. Otherwise, Rays can probably just hold and cruise into the playoffs without too much trouble. And then, once you get to the playoffs, it's all a crapshoot. But I think they're probably okay. The Twins at 21-7, sitting third overall in the AL. I have that the Twins should hold. He recently bought Crochet and Ellie, and then sold Ellie for Jordan, which is a pretty interesting move. This outfield, without Jordan in it, this outfield was really, really bad. And he's got Colson. He's got the, not better in real life than fantasy, Nasim Nunez, I said, but he's putting up 2.6 points per game with all those steals. He's got Haesung Kim, who hasn't been very good, but also plays short. So he got Ellie and turned around and flipped him for a more pressing need. The other side of that is taking on Crochet and Jordan. You're taking on some extreme injury risk. Jordan is always hurt. He's been phenomenal this year. He's been healthy, and he's been 4.1 points per game. He's amazing. And Crochet, it's a shoulder. So with pitchers, I mean, you never want to hear tight forearm. You never want to hear elbow, but what you really don't want to hear is shoulder. It sounds like he's on his way back sooner than later. So this could be a huge hit for the Twins, grabbing Jordan and Crochet. This could really, really work out for him. Could also really work out terribly. But I don't think he needs to be doing any more right now. I have the Twins as a hold, and I just realized I haven't been placing these guys in the respective things. So hold, and the Rays, I'm going to go ahead and put buy because I put buy a bat for the Rays. So But yeah, the Twins looking pretty solid. I don't love the lineup. I mean, Ben Rice doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that lineup. Dalen Lyle has come around and is a 3.35 guy. Colson's been 3.44, really good. Would be great to see Evan Carter return to some kind of form that he showed really early on that had him as a top prospect and looking like a can't miss guy when he was up for his cup of coffee. Right now, he's sitting at 2.3 points per game. Not really what you're hoping for. Only costing him $10. I was going to say not what you're paying for, but at $10, that kind of is what you're paying for. So the lineup is maybe a little on the weaker side, but just added Jordan. So yeah, I think he's in a hold state. And the pitching, Sheehan's starting to look good. Davis Martin looks like Cy Young, 22.5 points per game. Logan Henderson's up with the big club now. Chase Burns looks phenomenal. You know, he's got decent really. You know, Brad Lord has been a decent kind of long guy. Dominguez is a hold saves guy. He's also notched 3 wins. So yeah, I think, and of course Crochet, you know, ready to come back, hopefully sooner than later. Through 2 innings in a bullpen session just yesterday. So yeah, that could be monstrous when he gets Crochet back. This team could be ready to sit and kick hard going into the second half of the season. So yeah, I've got the Twins as a hold. Yankees, I also have as a hold right now, sitting at 19-9. Technically 4 points total behind the A's, so sitting in 5th place in the AL, but record-wise tied for 4th with the A's. And I have the Yankees. Probably time for the Yankees to hold. Just recently sold Juan Soto for Framber and Devers. He's got AJ Ewing up now, just got Rodon back, just got Clayton Beeter back, and will eventually, or at least hopes to eventually, get Max Fried back. So yeah, I think if the Yankees, and they're 19-9, they're not, you know, in imminent danger of falling out of a spot or anything should he have a couple of bad weeks. I think after selling Soto, it's probably time to hold and play it out. Now, will Brendan do that? I know he's made a couple of blog posts saying it's time to shake things up. Now that the Soto cancer is out of the locker room, it's time to shake the rest of the things up. Sometimes Brendan just says things like that. Sometimes he means it. But this is not what I think Brendan will do. It's just what I think Brendan should do. And I think the Yankees are going to be fine holding. Excuse me. Now, the team that is, let me put the Yankees in the hold. The team that is tied with the Yankees at 19-9, and actually 4 points ahead, is the Las Vegas A's, helmed by Frank. And I think the A's should buy. I think he did just make a move. He sold. The A's sent Felton Celestine and Noah Schultz. There might have been some other stuff in there too, but those are the headliners for Michael Garcia and Fernando Tatis. Now, of course, he's really hoping Tatis comes around and is not the total bum that he has been. And here's the thing, even having been a total bum, which he has been, 0 home runs, he's still averaging 2.5 points per game, which is not great. But when you've been as bad as Tatis has been, you kind of expect him to see maybe in the low 2s or the high 1s even. He's been so bad. 5 doubles, only 15 ribs, no homers. But he's still averaging 2.5 points per game. So if he can regain, you know, even 75, 80% of kind of what he's been in the past, he should probably, you know, be near 3 plus the rest of the season. The flip side of that is, what if he just sucks now? What if the peds that he was taking were a bigger part of his game than we thought they were? What if he's forgotten how to hit? That doesn't look like such a great deal. Although I will say, I like the A's side of that deal. We'll get to what the Reds have done when we get to the NL. but that was a deal with the Reds. We've talked about a couple involving the Reds on the other side here, but I like this deal. This was a nice go for it kind of trade. This is the kind of trade that teams that are 19-9, that are kind of in the thick of it, maybe on the higher end of the league, but maybe see themselves as a step or two behind the couple of top teams. This is the kind of move those teams should be making. But I still have the A's as a buy. I think he should not be done buying. And it's mostly the pitching that is, to me, the primary issue for the A's. He's leaning on Nola, who has not been very good. Emerson Hancock, who's been great, but will he? I need to see it for a full season before I think Emerson Hancock is an 18-point per game guy. Captain Jack Flaherty has not been very good, a 5.77 ERA, only 8.28 points per game. Foster Griffin has somehow been 15.5 point per game, but I think he's going to get slapped with some negative regression sooner than later. His last two starts have been really bad. He was riding a streak of like 4 qualities in a row and 16 points plus in 4 straight starts, including a couple in the high 20s. But in his last 2, it's been 1.17 and 8.5. He'll probably settle in. I don't know. It's maybe a 10 or 11. I don't think he's a 15.5 point per game guy. I really don't. So I think if anything, and Grayson just came back for Frank, but looked awful. I just think the pitching is a bit thin, and if he's going to do anything, it should be to buy a pitcher. Now, I say that kind of knowing full well what the market looks like. I've been in the market for a pitcher myself. I just lost Reagans. I just lost Bubich, and there's just not a lot going on out there. And I'm trying to trade a pretty consensus top 40 prospect or so in Bonheimer, and I can't seem to get much going at all. So I know it's easier said than done, or easier to just write it on a piece of paper, say, hey, these guys should buy this, but that's kind of the thing. The league's a little bit funky right now. Some guys are feeling out. So the $5 per win is a real thing. Some teams don't want to throw in the towel yet and try to grind out that money, which I totally get. $5 is a gallon of gas right now, man. The $5 a win is not nothing. So finding a dance partner for all these teams that I'm saying should buy, again, it's just much easier said than done. I don't have recommendations individual for these teams. If I did, I don't know that I would share them because that's just a little too presumptuous. But putting the A's in the buy. Oakland and the Rays in there so far. The A's and the Rays. The rest of the 3 are, for me, they're holds, at least right now, because they look good. I mean, when you look good, it's tough to find anything that you should do. Next up, the Rangers. The Rangers have scored a couple hundred more points than the Yankees and A's, sitting at 18-10 though. The A's and Yankees tied at 19-9, and the Rangers and Angels tied both at 18-10, and kind of all clumped together within a couple hundred points of each other. I put that the Rangers should buy, and I didn't even put a specifics. I guess I just think he should buy generally. I think it's probably the pitching that I'm more worried about than anything. But the bats, this is an interesting team. He's put up pretty good points, and that's with Kyle Tucker not really being what you're paying for. $37 with Kyle Tucker. It's been really terrible. Colton Cowser, but he's also kind of getting. Schwarber at 4.62 points per game. He's been an absolute monster. And maybe he can keep this. He actually should probably be even better. He's got 20 homers, but only 36 ribs. So Schwarber should probably be even better than he's been. Miguel Vargas has been a 4-point per game guy so far. I was the biggest believer in him for a long time. I really don't think he's a 4-point per game guy, but he has been very, very good. 21 doubles. No, God, it's 21 singles, 7 doubles. But 11 homers, 29 ribs. He's been very surprising. But that's kind of, this team is looking at Josh Bell averaging 2.83. Gunnar at 3.2, been a bit disappointing. It just seems like a lineup that doesn't want to gel together all at once. He just got Volpe back, but other than that, oh yeah, he's lost Cal Raleigh. I was like, where are all these? How has this hitting been as good as it's been? Cal Raleigh's been bad and still averaging 3 points per game. But yeah, he did just lose Cal Raleigh. So to get him back, I don't know. So it's oblique. The 15th, they said they're going to shut him down a week before reevaluating. So he's probably still at least a little bit away. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be, months or anything. So yeah, he'll get Raleigh back. Will he get Lubob back? Lingering symptoms and not progressing the way we would like for Lubob. And he was only a 2.5 point per game guy, but still somebody to plug in there. But he was able to get Leody Taveras in there and average basically the same points. So pretty nice little replacement there for the Rangers. But the pitching, not so great. Leaning on Kyle Freeland, Michael Lorenzen, Jose Quintana. I think I remember talking about this in the preseason, how this guy was loaded up on he's got Sugano loaded up on Rockies pitchers. So I think to make a real run, but again, once you make the playoffs, it's a shit show. You have a good couple of weeks, you have a terrible couple of weeks. It's kind of like football, fantasy football. It takes skill to make the playoffs and then luck to win them. And I'm hoping that the way we do the playoffs in this league kind of mitigates the luck factor. I don't even know if that's the right word, but makes it a little less to where luck factors in so much. It's not a 1 week head to head where if I just had a bad week, I'm done. So a team like this can survive even without making that move. If the lineup finally does decide to click all at the same time, but I do think he's going to need some pitching. Right now, he's looking very good, 18-10. I think he's been a bit fortunate. He's been a bit fortunate. He lost Raleigh, but otherwise the injuries been pretty fortunate, running on the good side of variance with injuries. I think he's going to need to do something, though, to kind of put him over the top, separate himself from the kind of glob of teams that are sitting in that same grouping right now. So, yeah, Rangers, I think, need to probably buy pitching. I mean, geez, they'll find me somebody that there's not very many teams that don't need to buy pitching. The Angels, 18-10, also a couple points. Let's see exactly. Angels, about 160 points behind the Rangers, but still same record, 18-10, looking pretty good. And I put that the Angels, surprise, need to buy. And he did just trade Tatis for Hunter Green and Marcelo Ozuna. So this is banking on Green coming back healthy and like kicking hard to the finish kind of thing. Green is going to throw a bullpen in 5 days. So I'm sure William will be very interested to see how that goes. Could be a nice pickup. I kind of feels like selling low on Tatis. You're selling him at his lowest. He's been trash. Everybody's all over. Start hammering the Tatis, homer prop, because Jesus Christ, he's got to finally homer eventually, and he still hasn't. So it kind of feels like selling him pretty low, selling him for an injured pitcher who his status is very much still up in the air. But it's also selling for some upside. It is Hunter Green, so if he does come back and is healthy for the second half of the season, it's hard to find too many other pitchers that have as much upside as Green does. So he's kind of trying to, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about that deal. At the time it happened, it was interesting. It kind of felt like selling low on Tatis, but also kind of giving up early or selling low on Green also. So it's kind of like a buy low, sell low on both sides. It'd be interesting to see how that ultimately turns out. I've got Green in another league, so I have some vested interest in that already. But yeah, that'll be really interesting to see how that one works. I do still think the Angels ultimately need to buy. He just lost Drake Baldwin, I think, for significant time. It's an oblique. I guess it is a grade 1. So it's about the best news you could hope for, but obliques are always super tricky. always keep guys out longer than you expect or hope. And Baldwin was absolutely mashing. He was a 4.5 point per game catcher. So going to be a pretty big blow. I mean, right now he's playing a combination of Mickey Gaspar and Eric Haas in there. And Haas has had a double dong the other night, but hasn't done a whole lot outside of that. You really, of course, would prefer to have Drake Baldwin in that lineup. So I think, and the pitching is razor thin. May has been better than I think anybody expected, but the rest is Gossman and Gavin Williams, and then you're looking at Andrew Painter, and then not much in the starting pitching after that. You're hoping for Hunter Green to come back. It's just not what you want to be relying on come playoff time. We'll say that. Painter has shown very mixed results. Overall, hasn't been very good. He's under 10 points per game. But Williams and Gossman have been great, and May has been better than expected. Now that's fine and good, and so far it's led to an 8-10 record or 18-10 record combined with the hitting. But this team is still just like it was early in the preseason. It's like an injury or two away from like self implosion, really. If Gossman goes down, if Gavin Williams goes down, even if Dustin May goes down, then that pitching looks a whole lot worse than it looks now. And the bench is razor thin. He's got no infielders that can, no infielders on the bench. It's a couple outfielders, a couple bad outfielders, and his backup catcher. So again, kind of in the same position he was. It's cool to see him be 18-10. Cool to see him be right there in the playoff hunt. I was hoping it would work out for one of the two kind of funky teams that were going, studs and duds, the Reds and the Angels, and it kind of is working out for one right now, and the other is, we'll talk about on the weekend, but not really in the same spot as the Angels find themselves. Damn it, I've been falling back on these. What the hell did I say? Rangers were a bye, and the Angels were also bye. The more I look at it, I just don't know what I would have said instead for these guys. I think they do still need to buy, I guess, buy something. They probably, all of these guys that are sitting like in playoff spots right now, you could say hold and take the coward's way out and just blow through it that way. But that seems cheap, and that's not even truly what I think either. So let's move on to the White Sox, 17-11, sitting in 8th place right now, but at 10,320 points, the third highest scoring team in the AL. So some bad scheduling luck for the White Sox, but I do think that he's due for that, regression, and this will be positive regression for the Sox. He's put up a massive score for the week right now. I just looked at it earlier. I don't remember what it is, but he's crushing this week. Only 5-5 in the division. So again, some funky scheduling luck for the White Sox, and I put that they need to hold. The White Sox look pretty good. Going to get Altuve back, and that's kind of the big bad spot in the lineup right now is like left field, maybe center field, but he's going to get Altuve back, be able to plug him into left field. And I mean, this is a lineup with J-Ram, Turner, Ohtani, Kettle Marte, the resurgent Jake Bauers at 3.63 points per game. And plays 3 positions. I'm using him in hot stove. I mean, he's been great. I truly still don't think he's this good, but he's been proving me wrong the entire year. So, like I said in the chat not long ago, I think it might just be time to suck it up and admit Jake Bauers is a 3.5, 4 point per game guy. So this lineup looks really, really nice, and the pitching is maybe thin-ish, but looks really good. Miz looks like when he's on and when he's other, one of the best pitchers in the game. Griffin Jax is now a starter and has thrown both of his last 2 starts were QA7s, a 16-pointer and a 10-pointer. So they're starting to let him go more innings. He went 5 innings the last 2 starts. He does seem like he is settling in as a starter. So to kind of just gain a starter in the middle of the season like that is really nice. And he's still got pretty good relief pitching with Smith, with Jeremiah Estrada, with Brian Abreu, who has actually been pretty bad, but we know can be really, really good. Bradish has come alive recently. two of his last 3 starts were 24.5 plus, and the last one, which wasn't that great, still 14.17, still got the QA7. That's 3 in a row for him. 2 of those quality starts, 3 quality starts on the year. Hasn't been very good, but is coming around. So this is the kind of team that when they're all running together good in 1 week, and you get maybe a 2-start Bradish or a 2-start Miz or somebody like that, and you can get, between 5 and 7 starts from these guys, it's a very, very good team. And when he gets Altuve back, that lineup's going to fill out and really have no holes in it. Maybe catcher. I mean, even his catching combo has not been bad. So this is a team to look out for. I think he's due for the positive regression to hit. Jeez, is he going to get Burns? Burns is expected to throw live batting practice Friday. So, yeah, he's going to hang on and get $14 Corbin Burns. What he's going to look like, we don't know, but could be a massive boost to this pitching, this rotation. So, yeah, that's why the Sox are a hold. I don't think he really needs to do anything. Just keep scoring the points he's been scoring. The schedule luck will even out, and you're going to get Altuve off the IL. You're going to get Burns off the IL, and this is going to be a formidable team. All of this is with the caveats that, like, nothing else happens. But I think the White Sox look pretty good. Right now, if the season ended today, I think he misses the playoffs, which is disgusting. But shush. Oh, my idiot dog's going to start barking. Shush. I might have to mute and stupid dog. Yeah, White Sox are a hold. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be good. Fucking schnauzers, man. Schnauzers. Oh, God. Astros. Okay, Astros. Astros sitting at 14-14, 3 games back from the White Sox. We got 2 teams sitting at 14-14. But the Astros are, if the White Sox have been getting bad schedule luck, the Astros have had some pretty fortunate schedule luck. They are a negative with point differential, quite considerably negative. They're 83-91 scored, 87-91 allowed. So exactly like 400 more allowed than scored. But are sitting at 14-14. I think are pretty fortunate to be doing so. I put that they need to. I put they're interesting. They need to hold or buy. I mean, if they're going to go for it, buy. I could easily see swinging the Astros to a sell because they are sitting 24th overall and hitting 16th overall in pitching. That's not really a team that sells out to go for it. He does have Skubal eventually to come back. He does have Troy Melton coming back. I think he recently got Troy Melton, but Melton coming back to make his season debut this weekend. Did just get Robbie Ray. Still sitting on Bubba Chandler. Savage looked incredible. The pitching is very, very thin, but McLean, for as bad as he's been, still 17.65 points per game. But he's had a couple of stinkers recently. Dead air, just what every good pod needs. Had to close my window. What the hell was I talking about? The Astros. Yeah, the pitching looks a lot better once he gets Scoobs back. I don't know if he's getting. Oh yeah, Matty Boyd will be back eventually. So yeah, I could see this guy holding and just waiting for the injured pitchers to come back, or making a move and trying to gain some ground in the interim. He did just get Cole Emerson up to the big club, so hoping he provides a boost to the lineup. That's really Junior Caminero, and then not a whole lot else. Xavier Edwards has been really good, 3.5 points per game, but it's really those two kind of carrying the hitting. The outfield is especially weak, and there's not a lot coming. There's nobody coming off the IL to help that outfield. That right now is Victor Scott, Blake Perkins, Andrew Benintendi. You may be throwing some TJ Friedel in there. So yeah, the outfield looks really bad. If that's a move I would make, I'd try to get a bat. 24th in hitting, definitely needs a bat. He's also got Woodruff potentially coming back. Totally missed that. Brandon Woodruff tentatively scheduled to face hitters on Friday, so that'll be quite interesting. If this team gets Josh Hader, Brandon Woodruff, Skubal, Melton, and Matty Boyd all back, with in time to make a potential playoff run, this team could start looking pretty good. You'd still want to maybe get a bat. That outfield is pretty miserable. You'd probably still want to get a bat, but that's kind of why I put it in the hold buy. If you're going to go for it, go for it. Go buy something. But yeah, you could see him holding too. I'm going to throw him. I think I'm stronger on buy for the Astros than I am hold, because I think if those pitchers all come back and look pretty good, that could be a very tough team. The Tigers need to buy. Pretty much the same situation as the Astros, maybe with not as much pitching coming off the IL to look forward to. But the Tigers are also sitting at 500 right now, 14-14. They've outscored the Astros by 1,000 points and are sitting with the same record. So a little bit tough there. But if anything, yeah, I think this is a team that needs to buy. If he's not just going to kind of sit back and be satisfied with being a 500 team, I do think he needs to buy. He lost Pablo Lopez. I don't know what the deal with Patrick Sandoval is ever supposed to be, but I don't think that's somebody you can rely on coming back. But he just this is a team that's just kind of good. And I know I had him as a playoff team in the preseason. I still think he's got, a shot to be, but I do think he needs to do something. I think he needs to buy and probably buy a little bit of both. He's ninth overall in the league in points in the AL, not the whole league, but in the AL. So he's just kind of like right on the outside looking in. But I could see John making a move. He's not super active on the Discord, but he's got some decent specs. This is a guy that could make a move when he feels like it's time to make a move. And yeah, looking at his team, I do think it could be good enough with an addition or two to make a run. So yeah, I've got the Tigers as a buy. Also, yeah, most of the AL is a buy or a hold. Cleveland. Let's move on to Cleveland, and then I think that'll be about it, because the last three teams are pretty bad. So Cleveland is 13-15, so just a game behind Houston and Detroit in 11th place record-wise. But again, he's at 9,200 points. He is outscoring Houston considerably, so you could see him leapfrogging a couple of spaces easily, just with some normal scheduling luck, or however you want to say it. But I do put that they are a hold, and it's more so because I think that the best pieces Cleveland has to sell are guys on pretty good contracts, guys that you don't necessarily want to sell because you think you're going to give them contracts and want them around for a couple years. Sandy at $19, he's maybe he's not looking exactly like his old self, but he's 16.5 points per game for $19. I think you're probably pretty happy with that, with as bad as he's looked, like generally since coming back from the injuries. I think you're pretty thrilled that he's been looking as good as he has this year. And I don't know that you want to sell him. I think even if you decided you weren't necessarily going to be competing this year, I don't know that you'd want to sell Sandy. And the same goes for Will Warren. At $11, he's bringing 16.22. I mean, he looks like a budding star at times. Other times he kind of doesn't. He say that about a lot of guys, but I mean, geez, he's been really, really good. When he goes like 6+, he's been phenomenal, which he's only done twice. He's usually like a 5 and done guy, but he racks up the strikeouts. He scores points. He's got four starts of 18+ and 3 of 22+. So yeah, for $11, I don't know that you want to deal that away. At 26 years old, you probably want to sign him for a couple few years. This is like these are really, really attractive pieces. I've talked just here in the AL about how many teams I think need to try to go get a pitcher or buy something in some capacity, and I think those are the best pieces that this team would have to sell. Maybe Bo, if you decided you were selling, maybe you can get some value out of Bo, but he has not been very good. I don't know if too many people are going to be paying up for Bo. I mean, third base is kind of a hellscape, so maybe you do find somebody to take Bo off your hands. But again, the two best pieces, the two best chips that would bring the biggest return, even $14 Bailey Ober, you could probably find a pretty good buyer for. I guess maybe that's one of his better chips that you'd be on the fence about giving Ober $16 next year with his 88-mile-an-hour fastball. So yeah, maybe you sell Bailey, and that would be a good chip. But the other ones, Sandy and Warren, man, I think I'd want to hang on to those guys. So for the Clevelands, I've got him as a hold. If he decides to sell, he's got some really nice chips, but I don't think those are guys that I would want to sell. So yeah, kind of a tough spot at 13 and 15. Got him as a hold. And again, I don't think he's a piece or two away from really competing. I guess, like anybody else, I guess it kind of depends on who those pieces are. Did just lose Taj Bradley. He was been really, really good as well. Could rejoin the Twins rotation as soon as Saturday. So that would be really nice to get back. Bradley had been a 19-point per game player. So that would be a huge boost to this team. So I kind of just noticing Taj now, but makes more sense about why he would be a hold and not necessarily a sell. And that's, again, a $9, 19-point per game pitcher. You don't want to sell that right now. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe if you don't believe in him, you sell Taj now and try to get a haul because you don't think he's really a 19, 20 point per game. You're talking aces there. If you believe Taj is an ace, you keep him around for $9 or $11 next year or whatever. But if not, get a haul for him. So yeah, put Cleveland as a hold. The rest of these scrubs. Oh wait, I had the O's. The O's. Boy, I don't know what to say about the O's. They're 13th in hitting, 21st in pitching. Gary is trying to buy. He's been trying to buy pitching for some time. So I guess because he's made it so obvious himself that he's trying to buy, I'll go ahead and throw the O's in the buy. I think maybe I would throw the O's in the sell, though, if it was just me. Yeah, let's take out what we know Gary has said. The O's are 11 and 17. He's about 600 points, 700 points below the Tigers and the Guardians. I respect Gary, and I think it's fun that he wants to try to go for it. And he did just he made some kind of deal recently. I don't think it was a huge one. Oh, he got like Castellanos and Jeremy Pena. But he dealt away Mookie. He's loaded up on pitchers, but none of them are particularly good. They're just kind of all okay. It's just a team that looks okay. I think if he needs to tip one way or the other, maybe it would be time for the O's to start thinking about next year. But I could see him, wanting to grind out those wins, get the $5 per win. Gary's not a throw in the towel early kind of guy. But if it was me, if I was running the O's, I think I'd be seeing what I could get for some of these guys while they still have some value. I don't remember if it was this league or not that I hit him up about Cags. It might have been a different one. It might have been TFE. I don't remember. He's got Anthony sitting on the IL. I don't know when he's supposed to be coming back. Will not swing a bat again until at least Friday. So that's tomorrow. But that's just swinging a bat again. Might not be back super soon, and really hadn't been that good before he got hurt. That'd be a boost to the lineup, of course, but I don't know if it's I'm going to compete with the big dogs kind of boost. And his only injured pitcher is Dean Kramer. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of a team that might be mired in mediocrity, and that's kind of like the worst place for you to be in a dynasty league is treading water. You either want to be really competing or really getting ready to compete next year. You don't want to just be treading water. So I think I'd put the O's at sell. I think that's what I would do for the O's. And I don't mean that as necessarily a negative. That's just where I see them right now. And then these other chuds here. 3 wins, 1 win. I think these guys, if they have any, I've tried to hit up the Royals. I don't know what Brian's deal is. He's never super active on the Discord generally, but I don't know if he's just not looking to sell or not paying that much attention. But the Royals should definitely sell. And yeah, like I said, I've tried. They're 3-25, aren't scoring points. Do have some interesting kind of rental-ish pieces. Riley Green's been very good. Pete Alonso's been pretty good. Tarang's been incredible. I could see him getting a contract, though, at $25 next year. It's a little bit iffy, maybe, but he's been phenomenal, so I could easily see it. Detmers is a piece you could sell to pitching needy teams. Hunter Brown you could definitely sell to pitching needy teams. He would just hit 96 in his most recent bullpen. You could sell Logan Webb to pitching needy teams. So if Brian were to just come around and pay attention, he's got valuable pieces sitting there that I know he's the injured pitcher guy, but you can't sign all these guys, so do something, man. Do something. You've got injured players in your lineups. You've got Lindor. I mean, there's nothing he can do. He doesn't have another shortstop, but that's because probably it seems like he hasn't been paying a ton of attention to his team this year. So do something, man. Sell these pieces. Don't just sit back and sit on 3 wins all year. Get something for these guys and come back looking strong next year. Damn it. Answer my DM. Answer my fucking DMs. I'm trying to swing a deal with you. I'm trying to help me help you. Red Sox, he's got some interesting, semi-interesting pieces. Probably more in that vein of like the what I was saying about the Guardians, the pieces that he might have to sell. He might want to just sign instead. O'Neal Cruz, as a 4.3 point per game guy, could probably really help somebody out, but he's $20 next year. I could easily see that getting a contract. Kyle Harrison, been phenomenal. Was just did he complete the shutout? No, 7 innings, 11 strikeouts of no earned run ball last night, 33.5 point start, but he's $8. You want to sign that. That's not something, if you trade Kyle Harrison out, what are you hoping to get? A cheap young pitcher that averages 18 points a game, maybe? Well, that's what he already is. So, yeah, I don't think he's trading that. I think he's probably just kind of, maybe sell what you can if you have interest in anything. But Red Sox are probably more hold than anything because he's kind of already gearing up with some, a younger core. Waldschmidt's up now. Eldridge, $19. He's probably not getting a contract for that. But Brady House at $5, he's probably getting one. Yeah. So and he's got some nice specs he's sitting on. Rayner, Aiden Miller, Max Clark. Yeah. So this is a team that's eyes ahead. Sure, sell what you can if you get any action. But and the Jays, probably less said about the Jays. Better 1-win team, the only 1-win team we have. We do have a 0-win team. But again, if you've got anything that anybody's interested in, sell it, man. Get what you can. Sell Strider. He's been looking okay. Fucking sell him. $28 next year. You want to give him that? Bryce Miller, I could see sticking around, but man, sell these guys. Get something for them. You're not competing this year. Tune up and be ready, be strong next year. So yeah, that's the AL. Yeah, I don't know if this ran long or short. Sorry about the dog crap and the dead air in the middle there. That's my fault, but I just wanted to get something out and maybe give Tony and I something to chew on for the NL this next weekend. And when it's both of us on here, you can take whatever one of us did and probably double it. So yeah, to have him on here doing this one, we'd probably go an hour and a half easy. and then another hour, and that's just too long. So we'll just do both of us for one of them. Let him catch up on some sleep today, and that's the AL. A lot of buys and holds in the AL. We'll see if we'll see what the NL looks like. Do we have more guys to sell? I can think of a couple off the top of my head that I think should be sellers in the NL. Looking at the Cardinals, looking at the Reds, I think should probably continue to sell. We'll get to the Reds. I've like the preseason, like the NL preseason. The Reds probably will be the team that gets the most time spent on it, just because it's been a really interesting build and interesting to see how it's shaken out so far. And we're only in late May, so that does it. That's the AL, and we'll see you soon